to help you remain calm when dealing with shady people. They may get away with sabotaging you for a time, but ultimately, they will unpin a bomb meant just for you, yet fall on their own grenade. The purpose of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast is to help you better understand your work environment as I break down my own experiences as mid-level management of road construction. Greetings, navigators, and welcome back to the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast, the Can You Relate series. I am your host, Kenny Rogers.
Come on, man. Sit the fuck down.
In the Word Up segment of the show, we introduce a new word, or a word hardly used in everyday speech, to help you up your vocabulary. Word up. Forebode. To have an inward conviction of pending misfortune. Let's break this word into parts. 4. Something that occupies a front position. For me, I relate 4 with pre or ahead. Bode. To be a sign of something that will happen in the future. Usually something very good or very bad. Intuition is most often associated with caution, warning, avoiding bad things. The same association applies to forebode. But when you break forebode into parts, you find the word has nothing to do with good or bad alone. 4. Pre, ahead, front, future. Bode, sign, signal, indication. So, forebode is nothing more than a pre-indication of possible pending results. Will it be good? Will it be bad? Well, that depends on the bode. Don't forget to order your copy of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Workbook to help you navigate your work environment. The link is in the bio. In the previous episode of UCHP, I spoke to you about the character Victor. If you don't remember, he's the nearly 50 years old senior project engineer with only 4 years of civil engineering experience. Within those 4 years, he's worked for 3 different companies, being fired from the previous 2. I'll remind you of Victor's path to help you remain calm when dealing with shady people. They may get away with sabotaging you for a time, but ultimately, they will unpin a bomb meant just for you, yet fall on their own grenade. Fired twice in 4 years. That's already a pattern of self-sabotage, and there's no blood on your hands. If you are truly doing the best you can, keep doing that without acting on revenge. I am not advising don't stand up for yourself. I believe it is required to grow a spine of steel, yet use a stellar work performance as your shield. I know. You get tired of navigating and dodging toxic people. Your exhaustion makes it hard for you to perform at a level you are capable of, bringing you all the way down to just above baseline. I'll do this and nothing more is how you feel, although you know there's a better way. So, understanding this, if doing the best you can is at a baseline performance, at least you are putting in an effort to actually do your job. Not unless you are a mathematical savant. Learning math is difficult. Once upon a long time ago, you had no idea 1 + 1 = 2 and 2 × 2 = 4. But now it is literally elementary for you. So it goes with absolutely everything in life. Maybe you remember the bunny ears method, but now you tie your shoes without looking. Dealing with toxic people will get easier and easier if you are paying attention in class and pass the exams. Suddenly, you will find yourself dealing with elementary-minded coworkers and feel sorry for them instead of exhausted as they boastfully explain easy assignments like 1 + 1 = 2. You then express a better way. Yes, that's true. 1 + 1 does equal 2, but E = mc². You know they won't get it. And that's not the point. The point is, the circumstances didn't change. You did. Just like going to school, there are levels to learning. Students go from pre-K to kindergarten, from kindergarten to elementary, from elementary to middle school, from middle school to high school. Metaphorically, it is a rinse and repeat cycle for the rest of our lives. But when you pass the exam or go to the next grade level, the exams and the class will be much, much harder. If we don't know, understand, or remember how true that is, there are two things that will happen. We will continue to act like where we came from, or we will want to return to things we've already conquered. This could be a physical place, old friends that are still in the same place doing the same old things. It could be a bad relationship you know will never work. All of these scenarios are as ridiculous as a senior in high school wanting to return to middle school. When life is good and things at work don't seem so bad anymore, don't regress into a foreboding thought life. Celebrate the fact that you've graduated to a new level. And yes, class is always in session, and the next exam is going to be harder than the last one. But it's step by step, grade by grade, level by level, again, for the rest of our lives. Bodybuilders, for instance, once they max out on what they are currently physically capable of, a simple increase of 10 pounds is still very difficult to lift. But bodybuilders see no benefit in playing around with 150 pounds when their max capability is 300 pounds. They push past their max capability, 310 pounds, 320 pounds, 330 pounds, and so on. It's a challenge to them. So with that thought process, on your next life exam, you'll see as just another idiot trying to wear you down. Just another opportunity, a challenge to exercise your mind. But I didn't always know that. Dealing with Victor wasn't all that bad. I mean, nothing seemed good about it, but it wasn't too heavy. I instinctively knew I couldn't expect any support from the leaders of this team, which can stir up intuition of the foreboding variety. I was right. Here is the scenario. I was dealing with Victor, Javi, and Satan, aka Doug. Doug walks into the office and brashly begins to interrogate Javi and Victor about a subcontractor crew of workers out in the field performing high priority concrete placement without someone from our office inspecting, testing, and sampling the procedure. Listening to the discussion of what the subcontractor was doing and where, even I knew who was responsible for covering that assignment. Remember in previous episodes when I said there is a roadway inspection team and a bridge inspection team? Well, the subcontractor was clearly performing bridge work. I knew it, but didn't say it, as Doug gaslit the entire roadway team about a bridge operation. Doug also knew the crew of workers and the task at hand was his responsibility. He just didn't want to do it. When people are insecure and afraid of the devil, along with being manipulative psychopaths themselves, they will do and say just about anything to be self-preserving. Javi went on to say, "Look, bro, I told Kenny to cover them," as Victor stood there, dumbfounded. This moment was a whole new level of self-preservation. I mean, people tell the most vicious lies behind your back, but to do it right in front of you, wow. Javi was nowhere near convincing in his efforts to place blame somewhere else, and he knew it. Heck, we all knew it. It's not what you say, it's what you do. Yeah, sure, that's true, but how you say it matters too. Responding with truth, but no confidence, leaves the door wide open for more deceit. Back then, I wasn't in a mental space to give a firm response, so I answered passively. "Javi, I don't remember you telling me about them." "I did. Why don't you go head out there and see what's going on?" When you find yourself dealing with a naive, detached from reality leader, a compulsive liar, and a master manipulator, by the time the convoluted conversation ends, you almost believe they were right. But get this, when a liar lies, he has to tell another lie to cover the last lie. But when you're dealing with a child contained in a grown man's body, they cross-contaminate their lies in such a way you don't even know what to say. It's truly like dealing with a child with cookie crumbs on their face who lies about stealing the cookies. "Honey, did you steal a cookie out the cookie jar?" "No." "Are you sure?" "I just took one." Javi came out to the field, of course, when he knew the work would be done, just to do what snakes do. "Yo, they're done already? I was coming out to help you, bro." I didn't say anything. I didn't have the mental energy to be verbally passive this time.
He went on to gossip about Victor and Doug, as if it was all their fault. Listen, if you're right or wrong, when you get your way at something, leave it alone. Nope. This fool went on to say, "Man, I can't believe Victor didn't say anything. He's such a moron. And Doug never told me he needed help with this cruise. I never even seen these guys before." Wait, what? If Doug never told you he needed help with his crew, then how did Doug's crew miraculously become my crew before they became my crew, and before he ever told you? Moreover, how could you tell me about a crew of workers that you just said you knew nothing about? But I was passive. Hey man, it's 5:30. I'm gonna head out of here. Okay, bro. See you tomorrow. And hey, be careful with Victor, and especially Doug. Oh well, it was just a test. I'm out of time, but here's a clip of what to expect in the next episode of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast, the Can You Relate series. As I've mentioned in a previous episode, metaphorically, you can be the glue that is keeping the system together. But where there is no reciprocity for the person keeping the motor running, at end, they themselves will fall apart, and the entire structure will crumble to the ground.
Don't forget to order your copy of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Workbook to help you navigate your work environment. The link is in the bio.
It's easier to keep up with new episodes when you click the follow button and turn on notifications. Remember, fellow navigators, circumstances don't change. You do. See you next time.